On one of my more recent videos, I actually told you guys that one of my videos was almost breaking over another 100,000 views, and to show you guys some love and support, this is basically one of the very first videos that I actually got to put out, was doing a custom on this shoe, and that is the triple white Ultraboost. If you guys remember this shoe way back then, if you guys have been subscribed for that long, you know when I picked this up, and you know that I did a custom on it and turned it into the black cage Ultraboost. Everybody was all tripping on the laces because I was wearing them funky in the video. I don't know. You go watch that video and you leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your feedback on it, but I thought since these guys have been through hell, I have to show you guys a couple of close-ups of this thing, because it's been on hike trips, it's been at amusement parks, it's had popsicles spilt on it, it's had, you know, just about everything you can possibly think to imagine happened to this shoe. We're going to not only restore this, but we're gonna flip it into something else. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so here are the materials you're gonna be needing for this custom. Actually, first I want to give a huge shout out to Shit's Mints. We'll put his name right up there. At Shit's Mints, amazing Instagram page. He actually gave me the inspiration for this custom, because this is not only the SNS custom, but it's altered just a little bit, and you'll see exactly what I mean in the future. So huge shout out to you. First, you're gonna need your base. Mine is the triple white Ultraboost. Here are the materials you're gonna be needing for this custom. For paints, you're gonna be looking at just black. I specifically am using flat black because I want a matte finish, and white. We're gonna use two different type of angler brushes, one a little bit larger for bigger surfaces and one more for detail work. We're also gonna need a mixing container with half flat black paint and half GAC 900 for the tongue. We're gonna need tape to tape off the areas, and leather preparing deglazer to fully prep the areas that we're gonna be hand painting on plastic surfaces. This is gonna be your secret weapon. When we are painting on the cage, it's a plasticky material, so we need to add something to strengthen it up a little bit and make it last as long as possible, because it is one of the easiest areas to scuff. When I first did my black cage custom, this was not a thing, but now that I have it, you'll see how much durable it is after the fact. So without further ado, let's get to cleaning this guy. Alright, well now let's throw it in our laundry system, shoe horn and all, and we'll give it a quick rinse. Make sure that when you are putting these in the washer that it's on small load and delicate, and make sure there's no heat involved as well. Alright, now that we got that part out of the way, we're gonna let these guys air dry for a full 24 hours, and we'll be back when they are done. Alright, now we're gonna get our 2 hard mixture mixed with our flat black paint and start detailing the cages. We're only gonna need 2 drops of this. One, 2. So this paint is gonna go on our cage, and after that we're going to start taping up the areas that we're not going to be putting paint on for the upper. Alright, so let's start prepping the upper.
I believe that if I fly, probably end up somewhere in paradise. I believe that if I fly, I'll probably end up somewhere in paradise.
Chancellor the rapper. Chatham the hood.
And just so I get a better, more accurate tape job on the upper, I made some small faint marks with either a pencil or an old paintbrush that you've washed a lot of the black paint off of. You can kind of use that as a marker to show which direction those lines go and where they initially start. So without further ado, let's get started on taping the uppers off now.
I'm a savage, established, bad bitch magnet, I'm magic, your majesty, I'm majestic.
Alright, first thing we're going to do is start attacking the tongue. What I have is that pre-made mixture of black and GAC 900. It's a 50 to 50 ratio. Yeah, so let's get started. Since it's going from white to black, we only need to do about 3 layers.
My principal told me that I can't rap at that show. Then I rapped at that show. Simple as that. Got the complex from complex. I'll go the simplest raps. And it goes like,
Fanning the fire, hands is up higher, can I believe it, damn I'm a rider. Riding on 20s, 20 years prior, I couldn't buy ya. Forget it, you get it, got it so awesome, devil's a liar.
Alright, now we're on to the most fun part of the custom, which is the toe box area. This one's going to take a little bit of finagling. Make sure that you go once over these edges again, because we want really clean lines when we're doing the splatter. And one of the most important tools I forgot while talking about everything that you're going to need for this custom is a toothbrush. We're going to do a little bit of a splatter effect with the tip of this toothbrush, so just grab any other old toothbrush you have with your fingers. We'll dip it into the paint and let's get started on the base for the toe box. So we want to create this almost gray but also still speckly print. So to do that, we're going to get some really small splatters going on this guy, and every once in a while just hold it back a little bit, take a look at it, see if there's any areas that are uneven, and touch up those areas accordingly. But without further ado, let's get started. Let's take our flat back paint, get enough of it so that we can start dabbing our toothbrush.
with some questioning yours. Like why the devil can't get you, and why these labels can't catch you, and why they make you so special, why did he bless you? Think about it. I woke up this morning. Gotta smile when I say that shit. I woke up this morning. Go!
Fanning the fire, hands is up higher, can I believe it, damn I'm a rider. Riding on 20s, 20 years prior, I couldn't buy ya. Forget it, you get it, got it so awesome, devil's a liar. Take him to church, but I need a choir.
I believe that somewhere out there for us all there's a paradise. There is a paradise. I believe that if I die, I'll see my home somewhere.
Alright, and as you can see, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. We just want good coverage, and now it looks similar to an Oreo mix. So a little bit of black, a little bit of white. It kind of mainly looks like a gray, which is where we were trying to get it to. Alright, so for taking up the back area, basically you can use a picture for reference, but you'll see that there's usually a clean line mark that goes from here, wraps around to the back. So we're going to do something similar to that. I know that that line goes a little bit over the cage as well. Now we can start doing the splatter on this and then painting this heel cup with our paint and 2 hard mixture. Alright, now that we've gave it time to dry, let's start laying down our 2 hard and flat back onto the rest of this cage. Finish up this custom. Alright, so we got all the splatter laid down, we got the black on the tongue, and the cage is all done as well. So, next thing we gotta do is unwrap all of this tape. Whoa, shit, that actually worked.
Boy, if you don't get...
As you see, I kept the bottom still taped up so that we can lay on a quick matte finish onto this cage. But before we go on to that, I actually wanted to detail up this a little bit more. We got a small angler brush here, and we're just going to make vertical strokes with very small amounts of black paint and also white paint until we get a pretty nice mixture going. Alright, I'm happy with the initial pattern, so let's take the rest of the tape off and lace these guys up.